I had a viewer send me a question that I really liked. It was a three-part question, and I kind of get asked it a little bit of it to a degree often. So I just think it's cool. Cool. So let's just share it. What was the first? What's my first time where I was like, I have to buy these things or own these things? My cousin Chris, growing up, my cousin Chris was a cool dude, and he's older than me. And we go to Uncle Chris's house, and he was like the bachelor, man. He'd always have like cool cars. He had like a couple Corvettes in the driveway, and then like football cards and baseball cards from the vintage era. And this is the 80s, so it wasn't that vintage back then. Like stuff from the 60s wasn't that old at that point. But I remember I didn't get this card. I wanted it. My Uncle Chris showed me the Nolan Ryan rookie cards from the 68 Topps, and I was just like, ooh, I gotta have those. So I didn't get those, but that was like my first taste of like, I just had this, I don't know, I was only like probably like 9 years old, but they just felt, it was the first time I felt something that was like, it felt like finding pirate treasure or something like that. I was just like, ooh, it was like, I grew up watching the Goonies. It's like when they go into like the ship and everything's right there and they find One-Eyed Willie, they're like, oh my God, the rich stuff, right? When I was looking at these cards from the 60s and stuff, I was like, oh, this is it. I got to get my hands on these. So he didn't give me any of those because like he wasn't that cool. But like he gave me some like 80s Topps. And he talked them up. I mean, they sucked, but like I kept them and I found value in them. So and then the second part was, do you still have them? No, I probably like drew freaking pirate patches and mustaches on them and silly stuff as a kid. But that was what got me into them. But you know what? Now, as a grown guy and a collector, I go back looking for that stuff. I go back looking, what Chris gave me, I think was an 88 Don Russ Oral Hershiser rookie. So talk about, I couldn't tell you what I ate for breakfast yesterday, but I can tell you that freaking baseball card. And like, I remember having that. And I think that it left me throughout the years at some point, but I'll never forget that feeling. That's what like brought me in. And and when I met people that collected, it was almost like that different kind of relationship. You're like, oh, you got cards? What do you got? Oh, I got cards. And you just start off as like a brotherhood already without even like knowing anything else about the other person. And that's a feeling I got when I was 9 years old. That's a feeling I got when I was like in my 20s going to shows, 30s, and now owning Kurt's Card Care. Like I got the freaking best job in the world, man. I get to have that feeling with dudes every day. And not only just dudes, tons of ladies collect too. And I love that. So it's just it's a good feeling and it just never gets old. So that's my silly story of how I got into this stuff, but I bet yours isn't too much different.